Hey, what's up, everybody? All right, so um, we are going to talk about a few things here today, and we finally have a nice bullish sentiment in the market, which is amazing. So I am going to give you guys a few tickers to look for this week, and a potential reversal in the market, and what to expect and how to look for how to spot it, and exactly what levels are going to be those areas where are going to uh, change price action and change trend and reversals and things like that, right? So I feel like I haven't posted a proper weekly watch list in quite some time, because the past couple of months since the beginning of the year, everything's just been downtrending, and even when you think you've bought the dip, it just keeps dropping even further. And on top of that, we have so much catalyst going on in the market that we just never know. Okay. And our expectations are, slim the past 2 months. And finally, this week alone, we finally got a bull sentiment, and we're rocking and rolling, right? So it looks like everything is a bit stabilized more, thanks to what happened, not this week, but the previous week before that as well. And if you guys did watch the previous video, I did say here that, what to look for. So one of the most important things that I pointed out was the fact that gold hit basically this all-time high, and all the sellers showed up. And once the war catalyst happened here and the breakout of this range happened all at the same time, everybody was diving into some safe assets. So while they were diving into those safe assets, people were this gold was trending. And then it finally hit this previous week, and a bunch of sellers showed up here. So meaning that money has to go somewhere, and correlating with the market while this thing hit this weekly trend right here, it also bounced up the next week, which confirmed that the following week was still a bunch of sellers showing up on their safe assets and moving their money into other things. So again, just confirming that we're looking bullish for this week, confirmed this weekly demand. And we tested it 2 times. For the third time, we bounced. And we got this huge weekly bullish engulfing candle that you find across the whole board in general. Even Chinese stocks, they have like the huge bullish engulfing candles, and I can show you huge bullish engulfing on this one. I believe JD as well, Baidu, and I believe Neo. Yes. So you'll find a lot of these tickers that have those huge weekly bullish engulfings, which is a good sign. Okay, but how are you going to determine if we're going to keep on moving forward? That's everybody's question. That's what everybody's going to look for. Retail traders are going to look to buy the top for the continuation, while the investors are in the position already, because they've been in since this happened. So they've been in at this weekly demand level. Something that I talked about in the previous week as well, that it's going to be it's either make it or break it here, and it's going to break above or it's going to break below. One of the two, what's going to happen. And everybody knows that everything went bullish. The expectation for the Feds, it went bullish, while other people were waiting and still thinking that it was going to be bearish. Everything turned around the previous week. While I mentioned everything that was going on with gold, the way that the VIX was showing its characteristics here, everything was broken down for you guys properly. And we didn't need any news catalyst to tell us that this was going to be bullish, right? All we were just waiting for was the break above or the break below. And we got the break above, confirming the bullish sentiment. So long term, still the market is still doing healthy. This was a nice pullback, while everybody was 100% bearish. It was difficult to get out of the bearish mindset. Okay, not taking that away from anybody, because it is after being bearish for 2 months, you had to adjust within within a couple of days to go bullish. And this was the day that everybody was waiting for, right? And then the next day came around, and retail crew bought the top, and then again this day came around on Friday, and then retail crew came in and bought the top again. So everything was just bullish, fine and dandy, and everybody is, 100% going bullish now, right? Well, there's still a lot more to look for, guys, and we are still in this volatile market, and this is the first time we've seen a bullish setup, and it basically took over a lot of these candles. The previous 3-4 weeks, it took out all these candles, and buyers came in and took over. So even with all that said, you guys know that there's still a lot going down with the war and inflation and rate hikes and all this stuff. But again, for me, I don't really care about it. I'm aware of it, and I'm not using that to day trade in between. Okay, I'm very cautious. Okay, don't get me wrong, but I don't use it to day trade or to identify where I'm going to get in and out of my positions. So anyways, the one thing that you're all going to be waiting for is for these weekly candles, right? This is the number one thing that you guys got to please look out for. Remember one thing, that after any huge red candle, it's always followed by a green. After every huge green candle, it's always followed by a red one. Don't be surprised if this thing drops 50% in a red candle, okay? Don't be surprised if we just range trade anywhere in here, okay? Also, don't be surprised if we just shoot to all-time highs, all right? No matter what happens, you got to understand how we're going to get there and why. All right, number one, we have a weekly demand bounce. Okay, so here's the break of the whole demand zone. It literally from the 4150 area all the way to that 4240. This was a major area to bounce from on the weekly time frame. Where is the next supply? The next supply starts up here, this 4530 all the way down to this, what is this, about 4712, 4720 area. So this is a huge area where a lot of the volatility happened in December, November, December. And then we created the all-time high for the beginning of the new year. And then we just basically dropped down here to this 41 level, right? So we're heading into a supply, and we got to be a little more cautious now because, again, this was November, December. But once we get in here and we reclaim this level right here, this 45 to 45.40, I think it's going to be a nice ride back up to the all-time highs. And honestly, ES can see about 5K probably towards the end of the year, or by, in the next 6 months or 3 months or 4 months, however that may happen, I don't know. Ultimately, that would be one of the first targets. I wouldn't worry so much about this all-time high. I start worrying about 47.20 and then 45.40. Once we break above those two specific levels, then we'll be looking for that 5K, right? We're not there yet, so don't worry, but future reference. So what you're going to look for this week is the 50% retracement control point of this specific candle body, right? So from the top, this 44.65 down to this 41.30, you want 50% of that specific candle to hold its gains and to do something like this, just like this. This can literally happen overnight and pop up the next day. So right now it's Sunday, and this thing can drop way down here and then pop back up on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. Okay, however that may happen, who knows? But we are ready for that 50% retracements on the /ES. All right, so in the market in general. So this alone, what I'm telling you here and now, this specific retrace has to happen for all stocks in general that have that same weekly bullish engulfing candle. Now, for some of them, you may not get it. Some of them may continue because they are break-off patterns, right? What do you mean by break-off patterns? All right, so let's go look at Tesla, and I'm going to look at the 4-hour time frame and show you guys how something breaks off pattern and continues without the 50% retracement. Okay, so first of all, this thing was a nice downtrend, and like I said, this thing broke on Thursday, and then Friday they continued. So you see how we never got the 50% retracement down to the downside? It's because we broke pattern. Now let me show you one that just started breaking above. Microsoft finally broke above, I actually called this one out for a swing play on, what was this, Thursday for Friday, and then from Friday over the weekend. But anyways, this is the first time it's finally broke the trend line. Okay, so now that it's breaking a pattern, this has a lot more potential to continue to the top side to the high of 310, right? Some of you guys may think, oh, we have resistance at 303. Nah, that has nothing to do with it. These become targets now because you want to look for the bigger supply area. So Microsoft has a potential of no retracement and to continue trading above 300. Once you go above 300, you look for whole numbers 305 and 310, basically into the next like major supply zone, which is up here. And that's going to be the target for the end of the week. So for some of these, like I said, you may not get 50% retracement. So look for the continuation for those that are barely starting or those that have potential to keep on reversing. But overall, in general, you want the 50% retracement in order for us to have a healthy market. Okay, not saying that it doesn't. Not saying that it needs it. Because again, I've said this before, this market does whatever it wants, however it wants, with or without you. If you miss it, you miss it. If you don't, you don't. If you have no idea what's going on, then it doesn't matter because this this trend is gonna go with or without you, no matter where you are in life, it's gonna keep on going. So keep that very, very simple, right? So with the 4 hour on ES, I still like a nice dip by around 44. Okay, but I am looking for the bigger picture. I'm literally looking for the retracement back down to this 44 and 43.50. So 43.50 to 44, if we can just hold anywhere in here, if this thing can just drop like this and then pop into that 45 and then all the way to this 46, right? So I think a lot of people are going to look for this specific channel right here. This previous top, I mean. Okay, so that 45, 85, and 46 psychologically, I think a lot of traders are going to be looking for that. I specifically won't be looking for that number in itself this week. I want the retracement, the pullback, the dip buy opportunity for buyers to come in and take control of the bullish sentiments and continue on to the top side. Without that, it's going to be a little skeptical as to where we're going to head into the week because number one, we're heading into spring break. A lot of big investors and big money, they like to just kind of take a week off for spring because they don't have the necessity to come in and start day trading, you know, on the 1 minute or the 5 minutes and, you know, worry about their capital. Most likely these guys are already in from the demand and they're letting their winners run. They're letting everything run. So in that case, they probably have limit orders right here at 43.50. And if it ever does drop in there, they're averaging in. With the average in, that's what's going to create that bull run. And then that's what's going to create that 45 and that 46, 45.50 and the 46 target levels, right? So giving you guys a little more of a breakdown and what to look for. So hopefully you guys are taking notes and remember these things throughout the week because these things can really change. But if they do happen, you better be ready and you better have those alerts down at those dip buy opportunities and make sure that you're in these positions while you're watching the market. So that's /ES. I'm sure you guys can do some due diligence on /NQ and then RTY. All right. So RTY, it's the one thing I'm looking for. Again, I'm looking for the pullback, guys. Like I said, you guys go do your due diligence and do 50% of that whole move. You want to take control. I'm looking for the dip buy around 2050. Okay, 2050 is my dip buy opportunity that I want to get in. And I want to see how we're going to trend back up because this is all supply. Okay, these were buyers at one point from the 21 all the way to that 2160. And we're finally hitting that level. Be aware that this thing range traded for 1 full year. Okay, so it's going to be very difficult for this to reclaim above. And I'm not saying that it's impossible, but it's going to be difficult to get in there because the bears are still in control of this huge supply. It's supply because it got rejected here, 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 and we ran into it this week, right? So anything is possible for this to be reclaimed. And as long as we can trade above these specific levels, then we will reclaim it and become bullish on RTY. Now look at this. All right, so this is the level that needs to be, we need to close somewhere inside this box. Okay, so see this piece right here, this 2160 right here. This is where we need to close. We need to close inside here this upcoming week. Whatever happens in between, I really don't care. It's not a big issue. As long as it's 2050 becomes a dip buy and we close anywhere in here. I don't care where we close. If it's at 2110.90, if it's at 2115.80, 2119.75, whatever. As long as we close inside here, it will show a reclaim of a previous demand. Okay. And it's gonna hold and then push back up into the top of that supply, right? So going on the weekly. So your targets would be here. Okay, that's your top supply. We need to reclaim this, close inside by the end of the week in order to confirm that there's going to be buyers in control. All right. So above 21 to 2160 is the area where we're going to stay bullish. Below 21, we're still bearish and we're looking for those bears to come in and take control. If they don't take control, we're going to lean to the bullish side. All right. Plain and simple. Hopefully that gives you an understanding of IWM. And if we do close above inside this upcoming week, I will definitely make another video on this just to go back and follow up. So with those two broken down, I want to give you the top tickers for a swing list, and always make sure you start on the weekly time frame. First of all, I'm gonna give you ARC. All right, I'm already in ARC, and look at this weekly time frame: previous high, previous breakout, previous retest, and inside we closed a bullish engulfing candle. Just like I said, for everything, there are tickers that are not going to pull back 50%, and I think ARC is the one that's not going to pull back. But if it does, it'll be very, very nice. So I'm giving you a full game plan here on ARC and what I plan to do on this specific position. All right. So I'm already in a position for a swing. I want this to hold anywhere above 64. Okay. So 50% of that candle. And 66.60. All right. So this is my entry points right here for a breakout. And then this is my entry points for a dip buy. So I'm going to get back in regardless. My first target is going to be 70, 75, and then 77.60 area, right? These are my targets. So I'm looking for these tops to trend back into. Now, you guys may think, why am I, looking for ARC? If you take a look around at everything in the ARC sector, a lot of them have more recovery potential than anything else in the markets. So this may be the bottom for ARC, and a very strong potential reversal for ARC in itself. I mean, if you take a look at the weekly time frame and you see where we're at, like price action, what it is, it's something that's happened in the past that will most likely happen in the future. So if in the past we went from 60 all the way to 159, okay, what makes you think that we won't do that again? ARC is I think they have a great mixture of stocks, but I think Kathy Woods just bought the top on a lot of stocks, so that's why they're down. So by the time that this thing fully recovers, it's going to be okay for her. Okay, I'm sorry, but she bought tops and she got screwed over. All right, it's just my opinion, but either way, we can definitely ride it on the way back up and watch Kathy, have a good day while everything, trades back up. So thank you, Kathy, for giving us a good dip buy. And hopefully this is the bottom for her. Hopefully she can make her money back from everything that she's lost since she bought the top. And let's make some money to the top with it, right? So we're going to look for the recovery for ARC. We do have a high target of like 80 psychologically, and then around 85. So once we can hit these couple of targets on the way up this week, we will confirm and keep on trading ARC in the next couple of weeks, right? So this is my top one. Please go check out the sector in itself. There are tickers like ZM, Roku, Tesla, U, TDOC, and there's a bunch of other tickers that have to do with ARK. Okay, SQ is the other one. So that's my first ticker with ARK. All right, I plan on buying it anywhere inside here, honestly. Whatever comes first, either the breakout or the dip buy, I'm gonna get into ARK, no questions about it. All right. So as long as we're over the 62 area, I'm buying ARK. It's that simple. I don't know what else to tell you guys. All right. The next sector that I want to watch is jets. As a lot of you do know, is that they're airlines, and these things are just beaten down so bad. Okay. So we are in this nice channel to the downside, but again, we did finally gap fill right here, this little piece here. We bounced right off of it, and we're holding right above it, and we're back inside a demand of 1950 all the way to the 20. So basically on the 4-hour time frame. Now, I want you guys to know that jets does not move so crazy. It's the ETF. So what I'm looking for this specific movement on jets to correlate with the sector beneath it, which is like DAL, AAL, UAL, SAVE, airline tickers. That's jets only moves probably like 50 cents. So every 50 cents it moves, I want to make sure that my ticker is still trending up or bouncing at a previous supports. All right. So from 20 to 21, 2150, 22, 2250. All right. So targeting basically these little tops, and I'm looking for the continuation for this base rally to continue and to build a nice staircase pattern to the top. Airlines don't move so crazy right now. But if you guys don't know, there was some news that happened here during the week, and it's good news for investors. It's good news for revenue. Future forecast guidance was uplifted, and it got some good buying pressure these past few days in the airlines. So in general, I think the news is already priced in, but the future growth that it has is pretty huge. All right. So for now, we're just going to look every 50 cents, and we're going to target these few tops for jets. All right. So if you guys can take a look at DAL, for continuation on the break above, as you guys can see, it's a rally-based rally. So 38 all the way to this 39 or 38.80 could potentially hit 40 and 42 by the end of the week for DAL. I think that'll be a nice hit if we do hit it. If you guys see, all my alerts are on here, and I am definitely going to look for some dip buys in airlines. Right, so that's jets, RTY, ARK, and ES. The next ticker that I want to talk about is AMD. So, man, I'm so used to typing Amazon. But AMD is a nice accumulation down in these levels, and I want to take it just for a nice swing this week. So my breakout entry right here is going to be 115. As long as we stay above 113 right here, just this candle right here, 113, what is that? 113.60 to psychologically 115. This is where I want to enter for the breakouts. So if we open and we're there, I'm buying it. If we start coming down, I want to buy the dip buy right here between 110 to about 111. Dip buy this, and my target's going to be up here. Very simple, right? So first target's going to be 118.60, 120, 119, 122, and then 123.40. That's going to be my target for AMD. So it's either we're going to pull back and trend up, or we're just going to continue breaking above, and then boom. Okay, so that's kind of like what I'm looking for, right? All right, so that's AMD. All right, that's AMD. Here is my next one. I actually like the chip sector for some reversals here. Qualcomm. Look at all this supply, right? So in the past, this was demand. As you can see, we bounced. I mean, do I really got to show you guys where we bounced? See, and then we finally gave it up right here. So I'm looking for the continuation for Qualcomm. This is still kind of behind in the chip sector, the semis and stuff. But I do like Qualcomm over 155 all the way into the 160 and the high of 163, just round it off, 0.80. If we can continue for Qualcomm, I think that's going to be a nice run up. And I just want to see a reclaim of this so I can put it on the watch list into the next week, because then after that, we're going to target this 172, 173 level, okay? So again, very simple. Entry would be around 155, anything above 155, and to just ride it back up to the supply for the retest. And if it can hold by the end of the week, I'm swinging it all the way into here. All right, so I'm giving you literally a full game plan for this week and next week, so you have opportunity to get into this position. Remember, if you guys are going to ask me, hey, can I still enter at 156.40? Let me rephrase what I just said. I am going to enter as long as it's above 155 with my target of this piece right here, a retest of supply. By the end of the week, if we're closing above here, anywhere above it, I don't care. I am taking it for the swing and targeting here. All right, so I'm giving you guys two game plans that you can work with for Qualcomm. Other than that, I don't know how else to say it. Remember, a lot of these tickers, guys, I'm looking for bullish sentiment, and I'm relying on the market to hold 50% of its gains. If it can't hold 50% of its gains, right, then we're going to look for some downside. All right, but again, that conversation will come when it comes. As of right now, we're looking for some good setups and swings that I have potential. TSM. Right below 108. Now, why is 108 a very, very important level? Because of this. All right. Close with a bullish engulfing, and this 108 is a weekly resistance. It was a previous demand that always bounced here, even made the high of 145. At one point, it hit the high of, what is this, 142. And then now we're right at the bottom, testing from the bottom to the upside. So 108 is your weekly resistance, a major level that needs to break and hold above. Either way, I like the setup on TSM. It's a rally base. We closed on top, so anything over 107. All right, the same deal with Qualcomm. Anything over 107. I don't care if it's at 107.30, 107.65, 107.30, 107.13, whatever it is. Over 107, I am looking for the continuation to break above and to hit this 110. First target. Second target, I'm coming up all the way up here to this 113.60, basically the top here. I already have my first alert set right here, and that's the position that I'm going to get into. So remember, a lot of these are swing plays, guys, that if you guys just buy some time on these, you guys should be okay in holding as long as the market holds bullish, okay? So that's what I'm looking for TSM. If you want to dip buy, do it around 105.50 with your stop loss at 105. Okay, so the next one, it's going to be ZM. And I was really hoping for this video to be a little bit shorter, but there's just so many good plays, right? So since I am watching ARC, my entry for ZM is going to be here, okay, 114 to 117. And I want to take it along all the way to 122.60 to the high of 130. All right, that is ZM. The next one is going to be Starbucks. Nope, Lyft. And this one is amazing. So look at the accumulation down here at the bottom. And look at the previous demand that became resistance. Supply, and it dropped all the way down here. So that's why I have that level, that 42.50. So the 42.50, once we break above this 39, anywhere above 39, I am going long all the way to that 42.50. That's it. So again, it's a swing play. These are targets that I'm grabbing just because of the type of setup that it is. The bullish sentiment can drive a lot of these setups breaking above the pressure points, the continuation of trend changes. All right, so that's going to be my target for Lyft. All right, one last one. Starbucks. I'm already in this position, and I called it out right before we had this huge run, right? So I'm going to go on to 15 and let you guys know where I posted this. Posted it right here. Okay, at this level, I posted Starbucks and I wanted to go for a swing. I actually entered right here as well with everyone else. And into the close, it hit, I think 70%, 60, 70%. And there were 88 calls in the money for April 14th and April 1st. So I plan on holding my position for quite some time because it already hit my first targets. And I think it also got some like overnight news or something like that. But either way, regardless, we accumulated here. We built a lot of pressure and it finally popped. So with that pop, I'm looking for the continuation over 90. For this one, I will buy the top on this because it has a lot of reward to the top side. So from 90 to 92, 70 area, all the way to this 94. From this 94, because of all this level right here, I want to take it to the high of 98 to 100. This is the potential that Starbucks has as a good company. I think in general, Starbucks is great. So the levels down here were amazing. I just unfortunately never got in at this bottom, but I did get in here around this 88 last time and ended up taking profit on the swing. And now we're back at these levels. And if we do break over 90 and we reclaim 90, I think this has more potential to hit 100 in the upcoming weeks, right? Hopefully this happens tomorrow. I mean, I would love to wake up at 100 with a huge gap up and saying that, like, you know, Starbucks is doing great and their espressos are like #1 in the world or something like that. But only because I'm in it, right? So that's what we're looking for. If this thing does decide to drop back down to this 88, I'm going to buy some more as long as this holds. I think the risk to reward is amazing on Starbucks. It's a slow mover, guys. So don't come in here saying that you're going to wait for a little 5-minute candle to close above 90. Just buy it, okay? Not financial advice, of course, but get in the mindset that this is a slow mover and it's more of a swing trade, a safer trade. And there's not a lot of risk into something like this. Now, if you were to say something like Amazon or, you know, Tesla, and you want to just buy it and hold it, it's kind of more difficult because those moves are aggressive. And once those percentage go, they go, and then you just want to take profit, right? But for Starbucks, it's more of a slower mover, and you want to take your time on something like this and let it play out. Even if it gaps down overnight, sometimes it's okay to just hold this a bit longer. But remember to respect your stop losses, guys. No matter what you do, you always want to respect your stop loss. As for me, I will stay in the position as long as I potentially can. As long as it goes over 90 again, and even if it takes a couple of days to do that, then I will be patiently waiting for Starbucks to, you know, trend back up. Anything over 88 and 90, I'm in long. Nothing that's going to stop me from going long, unless some crazy stuff happens in the market where everything is just tanking and, you know, it looks like the world's going to fall apart. Then at that point, I will get out of Starbucks. Other than that, this is going to be my slower investment swing, and I'm going to be very, very patient with this specific ticker. Now, in order for you to capture some of those take profits, you know, levels and stuff, it's always good to go on the 15 and use the pre-market level. So for example, if you would have entered, like, let's just say here, you got in at the open and you're like, oh, well, I'm going to swing it, right? And you enter here. So you ended up taking profit on the day trade, but then you got back in. Your stop loss becomes here. Okay, so using the pre-market base. And technically, you would have never got stopped out. So what you do is you trail your position and you use the top of the pre-market to keep on trailing your position. Now, you would have trailed stop here on your first swing, but that's why sometimes you buy multiple contracts. And then it came down here. So technically, from the first original position, you would have never got stopped out, no matter what happened. And we still keep trending up. So that's why I said you got to wait a couple more days. Wait it out sometimes, and buying time on your contract is the best way to trade some of these positions. So in this case, we're going to be entering, like we're already on the 25th. So I would be looking for April 14th, April 8th, just to hold your position a bit longer. And they're not that expensive. You see, they're only 260, 280. The 95 calls are 90. So it's possible for you to hold these positions a bit longer than normal and just let it play out. All right. So make the most out of it, guys. Be wise. Like I said, don't just go in there and start, loading up on things. And next thing you're red and you're looking back at the video and wondering where your stop loss is at. No matter what, still respect your stop loss on a percentage wise, 20%. and then don't over position your position, and be careful. All right, be aware of your surroundings and trust the process, but respect the process as well. All right, so I will see you guys on the next one. Remember those tickers that we talked about. One of them is going to be AMD, ARC, Qualcomm, TSM, ZM, Lyft, and Starbucks. I think these are going to be amazing for you guys this week. And if they're not for you, it's probably because you did not set the alert, or probably because you didn't watch this video. So keep in mind 50% retracement in the markets, just in general, on the previous weekly candle. And then, we'll look for either a bullish market or a pullback market, whatever comes first. Either way, be ready, guys, and don't lose focus as to what you're doing when you position size. All right, don't go too crazy, don't get too biased. Either way, respect the levels in general. Until then, I'll see you guys on the next one. Stay green and manage your risk.